Aloha, everybody. Welcome into Buddha's Lounge. Now, you're probably fiddling with your focus or your contrast or your gamma to see, did Dez get a tan and did he lose a lot of weight? Those answers are all yes, but he's not here. He's somewhere else losing weight and getting a tan. Stunt double. You know, that's how big time you are. When you're Dez, you have a stunt double, and his name is Siolo Toala.
Yeah, I'm the ugly, skinny version.
Nah, we're not disappointed at all. No.
Dez.
No. Unfortunately, Dez had some other some circumstances he couldn't avoid, but thank you so much for taking the call and stepping in. It is an important thing that we're talking about. So real quick, I gotta tell everybody just a couple announcements. Today's episode is powered by GetMed.co. It's the quickest and easiest way to get your medical card at the lowest cost, $75. This Thursday, May 1st, in Hawaii, they celebrate Lay Day in Hawaii. Happy Lay Day, May Day. They're going to celebrate that on Thursday in Wholesome Co. Everybody who comes through and renews their card or gets a new card, you're going to get a lay on you. 1 through 5. I'm just a messenger. Sorry, it is Lay Day. I promise you.
Get laid on Lay Day.
Aloha. Lots going on May 3rd. The Nafanua benefit concert's going on May 3rd at Gem Nightclub. It's an all-female lineup. Also May 3rd, I'm not going to talk about that May 3rd. I'm going to let you talk about that. There's something going on. It's a graduation of sorts. That's some good news we can talk about. But just wanted to shout out as well on 92.5. If you're looking to get $1,000 every morning, I'm giving away $1,000 at 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., 3 and 4 p.m. Total of $30,000. Look at me showing off with somebody else's money. Yeah, somebody else's money I'm showing off with. And also Ice Cube tickets every day at 8 o'clock. We give you a keyword and you try to text in to win. So all that leading us, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And don't forget on Friday morning, Lynn and Crystal, you can join your favorite hosts on Everyday People Pacifica chapter. Without further ado, please welcome into my guest, no stranger to Buddha's Lounge and Everyday People, the best stunt double that Dez Alvarez could ever ask for. My cousin Siolo Toala, please, yes.
Thank you, big cuz.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Always love you, bro.
You know, when you're about doing God's work, it's you always have an open door policy with us, man. We love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
You and I were having this great conversation about the inspiration, the passion behind Day One. Those of us who may be unfamiliar with Day One, if you wouldn't mind, Cholo, just talk about the why are you and so many others from Day One passionate about helping those incarcerated?
Thank you, cuz. I think Day One, I think because of our experience as formerly incarcerated, there just isn't a lot of programs for us, and not enough of us show up for each other. And so that's really the main reason why we got into this. And rest in peace to our co-founder, Samuel, who started this vision with Dez, and just to help our brothers incarcerated and just anybody in the community that's trying to learn how to flip the script on problem solving. And we, so.
If I could interject, as I've been around you and Dez and the Day One program, what I take from it is, I know it is that you guys are trying to help others that are incarcerated, right, and behind the wall, if you will, but I think you guys are benefiting the most of what's the change, the change in your, whatever it is, if it's the demeanor or the through service, you guys are experiencing through change. So I think joining into the program and really diving into it, that's where the change is going to happen. It's not the program, it's participating.
Exactly. I think you change through service. And I think that when you show up, there's that saying, when you show up for others, you know what I mean, you're not really caught up in your own circumstances. And I think just lived experience, is just such a powerful flex for us, being able to use our life experiences to help others. And we're in the prisons, but we really are helping the youth as well. So, that's been our main focus, is to try to try to redirect some of our young boys, our young folks to.
I'm glad you brought that up. Since you brought up the young guys, let me ask you this. I know you remember this program back in the day. There used to be a program called Scared Straight.
Yeah.
And I think I already know the answer to this question about why Scared Straight may not be around as popular anymore. But I gotta ask, why the change in direction? Because that used to be like, hey man, you see Scared Straight, bro, that program is amazing. It's gonna be doing this, it's gonna do that. Whatever happened with that program, I don't care about that. But they tended to go away from it, and to me, I thought it was because it was too violent. You can't really fight fire with fire in that situation because it's traumatic experience. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you're right, cause when I used to watch Scare Straight, I would sit there and watch these hardcore men almost talk down to the youth.
Yeah.
And it was almost, I was so into my toxicity that I'm like, well, I'm gonna show you. You can't talk to me like that.
See, I was wondering if that ever happened.
At least for me, it was like, oh, I'm gonna show you. Or it was just like more glamorizing that life. Like, well, shoot, you know what I mean? I'm already in the streets. And I think it doesn't work for the young people now because the young people, a lot of them are not so much in the gangs. They're dealing with other things, whether it's being emasculated or having problems with suicide, trying to find out who they are. So you can't really scare them. You know what I mean? It's more of like, I think nowadays.
The stuff they're going through is scary.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And I think more is motivation and inspiration is more the lane that a lot of us are getting into. Is just try to motivate them.
Yeah.
So
I can remember what it was, but I blinked and Scared Straight gone away. I mean, it's back now, but like a series for a show, right? And I thought, man, that used to be. I remember we used to talk about that.
Yeah.
Like if I ever went to jail, I would want them to come and scare me back.
But
no,
it doesn't really.
It didn't even work that way.
And I think one of the most powerful Scare Straight I seen was a few years ago by Big Bro Cobra Upu.
Yeah.
He was on there, and I noticed he did it different. He took a more softer tone and kind of spoke from a lived experience, and I thought that was powerful.
Wow.
And
I'd have to go catch that.
Yes.
Good thing for digital media. You can probably go catch it.
Yes. And then here's Big Bro Cobra now in the Fold movement, showing up for the community. But it was a really powerful moment in that show, because he looked like me. He was someone I looked up to, and when I seen him in that lane, not really being hardcore and giving the young men their flowers, I thought, man, that's it right there.
Only because Big Sue's watching. Those are my cousins, my first cousins on my mom's side. Upu was so we were growing up. We had all left Park Village, and now we're all living in Cudahy. But nobody spends time in Cudahy. We still in the Ville, right? We still always going back to the Ville. And so my cousin Upu, my cousin Cobra, he was the very first person that I knew who got sent away for real things, right? And I was like, I know that guy. I went to church with him. I went to Scout. I know his brothers. I know his sisters. I know that's my real family.
Well, Jacob. We just saw each other. So Jacob has been away for 40 years. He just got home, and so we were hanging out this weekend.
I had no idea.
At the nephew's house. So it was great to see him. And they're getting together to do their little thing, but. Man,
welcome home.
Yeah, welcome home, big bro. Shout out to our family.
Years?
40 years. I was 12, I think,
that's
when he went in.
That's my mom's family. Real family. So and Sam, that's the family.
Yes.
That's all family.
Uncle Pelesala.
Uncle Pelesala. There you go. Oh, heavy hands.
Oh, he put me on the ground out here.
Watch out. That explains because of Frankie a lot.
Yeah, he got heavy hands. I just woke up like, damn, did Uncle just hit me?
Yeah. You want to see some more stars? Close your eyes.
Man, you said heavy hands.
No, it is a great thing that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
And I got to tell you, I had a seed planted in me many, many years ago by my dad, not knowing it was going to blossom into me wanting to go back and help those behind bars. And I can't take any credit for it. My dad saw it, he knew it, and it happened back in Viola. And you can tell me if this is something that could ever happen here. Across the way from Viola, we lived in Viola, the village, across I want to say maybe 5 blocks, so that people can understand how close it was to the prison. Wai'a'aka prison. One night, 2 o'clock in the morning, a prisoner comes over with an officer, knocks on our door. My mom answers, freaks her out. We don't have any food. Wakes up my dad. My dad, without hesitation, gives him a whole box of elengi and a bag of rice. The next day, they come back and bring back tenfold and say, thank you, we were in a time of need, you helped us in a crisis. That turned into Dad allowing the prisoners to come and bring their volleyball team to play against the dorm students and barbecue. Eventually, we had movie nights and dances. Now, I'm not saying we didn't have the aumanga out there like, hey, I'm watching you, right? That happened. Obviously, we still treated them with respect of the prisoner title, right, inmates, but they were going home on Saturday and Sunday anyway. And I felt like, wait a minute, if that's a prisoner's time where your incentive is to go home on Saturday and Sunday, why would I mess up my time? Would something like that work? And speak to something like that.
Big vision, man, that would be the ultimate. But like I said earlier, unfortunately, we live in this,
Money,
man, it's all about money, and they're not trying to heal that way. It's our culture has always been about community, and I think that's where we need to go, and that would be amazing. But I just don't see it in this world of capitalism, But man, that would be big vision.
Now I don't know about Tonga and American Samoa, what happens on the weekends, but for sure in sovereign Samoa, on Saturday and Sunday, the inmates get to go home to their family. That's it. They can't go on a weekend anywhere else but their family. So they go home, enjoy their family, and then Monday, they come right back to Hotel Cheoperts.
Sorry, I dropped my, yeah.
Oh, let me help you out. Sorry. You know what? We're going to go take a break. We'll take a break real quick. We'll come back. I got to fix my cousin's mic. We're 100% Samoan. These are Japanese mics, okay? Don't kill the messenger.
My man Buddha, man.
This is a little bit of R&B. This is reggae. It's a little different too for you, alright? Turn it up a little. Hey, yo, TK, I think we got another one. I'm not the one to talk. See, I'd rather serenade to you straight from the heart. 'Cause I wanna just honor this great love we share. That Jaja God done bless me with a lady like you. That's been real right from the start. I know that I'm a rebel one with some old school love. Like birds in the bees. We'll play it cool, make a move, hear a tune, we're on the beat. Side to side, baby, like this. See, I'm not trying to sing you another sad song, yeah. So play around, drink a bit, take a toast to this one, for this one's for you, lover. Do I really make you feel like I just want you, lady? 'Cause every time we talk and touch, the troubles go away. I know I don't say much words to call you beautiful, yeah. 'Cause all it really takes one word you say, I lose control. You're tailor-made for me. You're a gift. Here I go again. 'Cause Empress had the reason that I'm searching.
I want to finish my sentence. Welcome back. Every time something would happen, my mom would always say, see, if you will stay in America, you'd be over there campaign. And I'm like,
Frank was like, you remember how your parents said, don't be like your cousin
be like your
Frank.
cousin Frank.
That was, and what did I do? I wanted to
like
be
my
like
cousin Frank.
I wanted to be like big cousin Frank.
Tatofi, welcome back in. My first meeting, Uncle Pelisala and everybody, right? It was Christmas morning. I just opened my Christmas gift. Yeah, it was from the welfare. Who cares? But I just opened my gift. It was one of those old Evil Knievels that you can wind, and it takes off, right? Pop says, yeah, we're going to go see Uncle Pelisala. They just came from Samoa, right? And I'm like, yeah, we're going to go over there with our cousins. Ooh, yeah. How about we walk through the door? Hey, we came to bring you guys presents. I'm like, all I got is my, wait, no. Did you guys bring presents for these guys? Yeah, took it right out of my hand, gave it to Frank. Frank was outside.
So man, the reason why I'm laughing, they did the same thing to Frank when we came from the islands. Our first Christmas.
Payback, yeah.
That first Christmas, they had to give up their stuff to their new cousins from Samoa. So that's how we do it in our community, man.
Now he's slanging coffee in Samoa. Yeah, he says he's the best barista in Samoa. We don't know. Now you said, wait, hold on. Let's put a bow on this story. You said he used to put good coffee together back in.
Oh yeah, back in the days, man. My man Frank could make some coffee. So to hear him be the best barista, I believe it, man.
Okay.
You know? Amongst other things, he did a lot.
Oh. Stop giving away our family secrets, man.
Oh man,
giving
Frank,
away our family
man.
secrets, man.
Shout out Big Cuz.
We're talking with my cousin Siolo because his work and his affiliation. He has a new title now. I give it to him, a community activist. Long ways from shot caller. Not shot caller. Sorry.
There's only one shot caller, and that's
sorry.
Big Dad.
I'm sorry. We're just all kidding aside. It really is the passion that you guys have. And not so much, like I said, you guys are learning, the men and the women behind the organization seem to be benefiting the most. Yes. And so what that tells me is that if I want to benefit, if I want the last dragon glow, I got to jump in, right? So to that, I wanted to say, I don't mind sharing this part of our private conversations. I reached out and I said, hey, is there a way for me to put my money where my mouth is? I want to come, and I don't really know what I want to say. I don't know really what I want to do, but whatever it is, I want to do it while I'm relevant.
Yes.
Right? Well, I want to do it while white people still watch me. You know what I'm saying? and not when I'm retired.
That's the leverage, bro.
And the Samoan kicked in, right? The Samoan in me kicked in and said, if I were one of those men or women and I came after I had my accolades and I retired and I'm not working in the media space anymore that I had worked in for so many years, right? And then I show up, the Samoan in me kicked in and I said, Tali, now you can hear show. Nobody want to listen to you, right? And I'm not trying to go there, and I don't want to impart any knowledge. That's not what I'm trying to do, Sio. What I want to do is I want to participate in the process of having them come back into society. I want to be there. I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to put my hand out and say, look, let me pull you up. Not afterwards when I don't got nothing to do. I'm not throwing shade on nobody. This is my own personal feelings about myself. So can that be possible? Is that possible?
That is very possible, man. And like I said, we had this discussion about you coming in to help us out with Kava Talks, and once I brought your name up, man, I told you earlier, you just don't know who you impact. And some of these men listen to your morning show, some of these men listen to you, see you on the news, and so they have representation in you. And so when I brought it up, the fact that you just wanted to come sit in circle, they were very open to it, and they took down a date, so it's going to be important.
No fio poco, I promise.
No, I think the bros know, and I'm just fortunate that I had a partner. Shout out, Pictar and Susie for getting me in that space and having these cover circles. And our culture is important, and the knowledge you bring, I
got some crazy ideas of things that I want to do, man, and I don't know if.
Well, you can leverage it with the UDC because we can talk to Captain Carrick and everything, but if Big Budah's saying that, you know what I mean, we might get some leverage, bro. So they might even let you get in some cameras.
It's for the inmates, right?
Of course.
What we want to do
of course.
Here's the thing. I have heard through countless voices of people from all walks of life. They're people too. Okay. Look, I'm not making fun. If that is true, right? Then why haven't we done the most to make sure that the human experience still exists there then? So again, this is just me checking myself, so this is me, saying, this is Leroy saying to Leroy, Sully, you talk all that BS about service and do this. Your dad already showed you the way. Go do what you're supposed to do. So that maybe I'm feeling some guilt or whatever, but I just want to lend a hand. I really just want to put my hand out and say, look, Uzo, sister, whoever you are, come on. Let's go. There's a better thing. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's exactly the space we are at day one. It's showing support and showing up for our people. Of course we're doing it through our cultural lens, but you'll be surprised how many people are affected. You know
And what I mean by there's a better way, not that mine was better, but I want to help you to wherever you want to go.
Exactly.
If this is the direction, I want to help you here. If you want to, I want to help you. Does that make sense?
Exactly,
So however
yes.
I can help, let's start with the gentleman, the men
Yes.
back there, because I don't know. But let's do that. I want to help those brothers behind the wall.
Yes, they're excited to finally to meet you and sit in the same
Just
space.
remember, I'm not a comedian. I don't tell jokes because a lot of people are like, Sully, tell us some jokes. I'm like, I've got a swell who can tell jokes, not me. So
I think being authentic and genuine, walking in your authenticity, man, and just being Big Buddha. I think that's gonna be enough for them, man. And
well, it's a service. I really
Yes,
am going to take
man,
it
I'm
serious.
excited. We're excited.
If I can help one person, I really have, Cindy has really driven that into my head.
Yeah, man.
That if we can help one person, then we're doing good.
And
Let me ask you this to better prepare. What for anybody?
Yeah.
For anybody coming from the outside into that world, what is the way that I can better prepare myself so that I don't come in and I don't look like I'm fio poco and I don't look like I'm better. I don't want to appear that way. Right?
Yes.
What's some advice for me as I go in, or anybody who's going to go in for the first time to visit inmates?
Oh man, what I found powerful was coming in there with humility, and a sense of understanding. I have built this relationship with these men, and some of these men I know their dads and their uncles, and some of them I rode the streets with, some of them I did time with.
Wow.
So for them to see me in this space, and then me coming in with a humble heart and just being genuine and walking in my authenticity, the road they're going on and this path they're on, they're gonna see my footprints, and that's something that'll empower them. Like, man, if Siolo walked this path, I could do it, And then I just try to walk in my authenticity. I try not to tell nothing that I don't know. I talk about my path, my journey, what I've gone through. And we all have the same path, so that's been really empowering for me to get to know these men,
I had, when people were dealing with soldiers that are being deployed, I would hear stuff like, they would appreciate your letters, they would appreciate those cars, and I again, because I'm on this kick and I'm trying, is there a system? And again, I've never asked these questions. That's why I'm asking. Can I be a pen pal? Can I write something positive? Can I connect with somebody that way? If that's the very least, does that even exist?
Yes. So, man, we write letters for these men to the board. Does that make sense? A lot of these men, we've written letters. Fredo is going to the board to get another hearing. So we've been trying to gather letters for him. Now his date is so far out. But man, this man has done the work, and we're just trying to get him, just try to get the board to see the work he's done in Solid. And so, yes.
I've heard of that, the program Solid.
Yes.
This is more than a handful of times I've heard it.
Yes,
and
man.
I've heard just raving reviews about the program. Can you gush a little bit?
Man. And I just shout out Solid. It was created by Alfredo Lolani. And him and Fanua Kimuana take the lead on this. I call them my young OGs because it's a peer ran group, and Solid is an acronym for the Successful Offenders Learning Individual Development. And so it's a peer led, and I don't want to, I don't know the details of it. All I know is a safe space for these men, and they learn how to cope, coping mechanisms, and man, what's amazing about this program is they're getting their peer support while they're in there. They help each other. They'll go to 1 week. I think once a week they talk to the young men that are in the secure care facilities.
Really?
And so when we've been trying to, with Day One, that's our partnership with Day One. We're trying to build this coalition. So when Dez went to go visit a young man that got sent to Slate Canyon, and so he went up there, met with Fredo and Fanua and this young man, and Fredo and Fanua basically gave him the keys to what's to be expected, in prison. So we want them, the Solid program, we want them to be a soft landing, for some of these young men. And man, these men are doing this healing work, man. That's just it's been really, really powerful. So, I wanted to shout out the Solid guys, man, and I just want to, because I think it's important that I say some of these men's names.
Names are important. No,
Because
names
I
are
want to
important.
validate these men who are doing the work.
And this is going to stay in our video library, so that's very
Yes, and
important.
so I want to shout out my young OG, Fredo Lolani, Fanua Kimuana, my bro Luca, Weaver Solo V, my man O Down, my boss Ross, Bam, Chubb, T Block, Sano, Uncle Pilo, love you OG, Young One, NIC, Joe Lomu, appreciate you brother, Young Getty Bloomfield, man, appreciate you young man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Sorry, hold on.
I know some of these guys.
Yes. Jake the
Wow.
Poet, KK, Cat Eyes, and the homie Emmett, who's getting out. Emmett Lee Sang is getting out on May 6th.
not the nephew.
Man, appreciate you, man. But I'm sorry if I left anyone out. But I just
Follow
want to appreciate y'all. Shout out to Solid Homies, man. I'll be there this Friday, bro. So. Yeah, man.
Now we were, you know, we were talking about going in on the 3rd. No,
The 9th.
The 9th. But you guys said there's a graduation.
There's a
going on.
graduation.
Can we talk about that and shout out some
Yes.
good news because you know
Yeah.
this is all about good news.
Yeah, so Solid had their graduation a couple of weeks ago, and they had over 90 graduates. And then now they're having another program called Defy. Shout out Mike Uliberry with Defy. They are having their graduation that day, and it's an all-day deal where they're gonna get to see their families. So these men
that
are
is
doing these
nice.
programming and gonna have you know what I mean? And so it's gonna carry over to our Kava Talks. That's why we decided to do, the next week. So just amazing work being done at the prison.
We're gonna take a break. But what I wanted to say is those of you jumping on and maybe hearing some things we're saying out of context, I just wanted to say this. We are not celebrating or glorifying the sin. However, the person who commits it is a person. He's a human being. They are a human being. And that person, they are worth saving. That's what we're talking about. So please, as you listen and watch us, we know they did some wrong. We're not trying to throw them out with the bathwater. That's not what we're trying to do. No. We want to make sure that we say, yes, you may have done something that is not good, that is not acceptable in society. You're paying your price. We still know you're human. We still know you got flesh and blood. So I want to make sure people understand where we're coming from.
Totally.
All right?
Totally.
All right, we'll take a break. Enjoy the tunes and the grooves. We'll be right back with more Buddha's Lounge and Day One.
Yes, sir.
What's gonna happen and it happened to become reality. I got it cracking off a jump, paddy wagon, living up, pants sagging with the cuffs. We were meant to reach the heights we did today. I can't kind of let it fly. Guess it's better off chopping trees, better not bother me. Get them up, offer me with a top apology. I took a plane, went around, picture these better now. Hustle mode, pain proof, got a mode, pain full, body still in, breathing, still grind, full time, hands on my brother side, loyal to the clique, fight full poverty, ain't shit, but another plain view. You ain't from the south, but I fuck, look it ain't you. This is what I breathe through, build it up and as we go, see it at the same views. Ayy, see it at the same views. The map becomes the vibes up, change it only happens when you're running in the time time. Hustle hard, yeah, we get it every day. The blood, the sweat, the tears, the grind, the way. The map becomes the vibes up, change it only happens when you're running in the time time. Hustle hard, yeah, we get it every day. The blood, the sweat, the tears, the grind, the way.
Make memories forever and stay with me. I've come a long way from where I've been, so you can't play with me. I just wanna make memories forever and stay with me. I've come a long way from where I've been, so you can't play with me.
Like how they talking like we at the top. Keep the buff and now we making money cream on the top. Money motivation, hustle coming through from the top. They tell me crazy cause he you trying to cheat from the block. I'm living it every day, this is the grind, brother. I'm getting better as the time goes by. Keep the wrong schemes, so I let them go dream on. Smoke up every day, you know.
Sorry, we're just going the names that Siolo was just reading. I know some of these names. I'm related to and know these men. So I'm very proud to be affiliated and associated with you guys. Emmett, nice job. Malor Kawivi. Malor Kau. Welcome back to Everyday People's Buddha's Lounge. My guest today, my cousin Siolo, with Day One Utah, doing so much more than just helping prisoners and inmates. I mean, people can just dumbify it down to that, but it's so much more.
Yes.
You know, I really am so proud of you being a community advocate. And again, if life were a company, you would be a CEO, you'd be a expert. right? You'd be a consultant, be making 6 figures.
Oh man,
You know what I'm saying?
That'd be nice.
But you're using your skills for good and changing. You're affecting change. So malofa tai.
Thank you.
Let me ask you about something I've always wanted to ask. I don't know about this because some people think, why don't I just Venmo money into the to the system? You have to you actually have to know somebody, right? And you have to have an actual account. There's no like general fund where you can say put money on books and disperse it.
Yeah, no.
There's no such thing.
No, so that's no. You can give it to an individual. So that's one of the things that me and Des proposed with a friend of ours named Seth Grenny, and we wanna help these men that way. Whether that's pulling up to the families out here, helping mentor some of these kids. But the homie Joe Lomu, he's got a lot of kids out here, and he's in there. So we want to see how do we.
Joe got a lot of kids everywhere. Anyway,
you know, I'm sending this
we
to the
know
prison.
Joe for
So
real. We know Joe for real. Sorry. We love you. We love you.
and he can't wait to see you. He wants to have a conversation with you. He can't wait
He's
to
a
see
homie.
you. Yeah,
He's a real homie.
so that that's the program we're trying to do with them, and just see Bam. He's trying to get an entrepreneur type of deal. So I want to. That's you know what I'm saying. They're already in the mix
Man,
of
I'm
trying
so
to
proud
do
of
these
what's
things.
happening.
And I always try to remind them, like, I love the system that they allowed us in there.
Yeah.
But I always remind the bros, this is your program, this is your stuff. Don't let the system take advantage of it. You know, so it's
love
it's a
that.
fine line. You know, don't let them have your work. Be a partner.
Well, here's another thing that and I'm just an idea guy, right? I know the time in prison or behind bars, you want to be there as short as possible. You want to get home. But while you're there, there's some really innovative stuff that goes on in there that nobody really knows. And let me just say this. When you're on a budget at a commissary and you want a hot meal, you have got to be creative.
Yes.
And I'm
the
telling
spread,
you,
yeah.
if we had a throwdown between the best prison, who had the best spread, that could be some. Just while you're in there.
Bro.
Just while you're in there.
I love that idea.
And then when you come back out, go back to regular living, but leave that in there.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know who got the best Frito chili mix?
Man,
I'm just saying.
And they're very competitive in there.
This is not just Domino's.
They're very competitive in there, and that's some of the
That's
things
what
that
I'm saying.
they're into. You know what I'm saying? They have like tournaments in there, and, you know.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm not advocating illegal activity, but if you are inside and the world was frowning upon cannabis, right? Let's just say that. The world is so different now. If you know how to make ice cream delicious, if you got a recipe that makes, I'm just saying now is a time where you can actually go to real companies and say, yo, I've been doing this forever. I got a way that makes Oreos magical. And you can't even taste it. I don't know. I'm just saying, if there's something like that, you can partner with pharmaceutical companies in a legal way, where your street hustle now is your legal bag.
That's exactly what I'm getting at, and that's what FANUA is also trying to do. They're trying to create innovative 21st century jobs that is relevant to them. Some of these guys are getting out, and they want to be innovative. They want to be on the forefront of innovation.
So I got dumb ideas, I got a casino. I want to do a casino with just jail games.
Let's go. Exactly.
Get like me. I mean,
exactly. A spade tournament. You know what I'm saying? Some pinochle tournament.
I mean,
let's go.
It sounds funny, but it's stuff that they are good at. And I mean, they mean people people that don't have time, people that have nothing but time. I mean, they perfect something, and it's almost like you're a professional. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's the program that we're trying to get. So if some of these men are very artistic and can build things, what if there's a way that we can, these are just ideas, what if there's a way to get their ideas, get it out on the streets, and then send that money back to them so that when they get out, they've got something to stand on, they've got savings. And a lot of them have savings, and a lot of them, you'd be surprised the work that's in there. There's a lot of work. Uncle Paulo, he's the plumber for the whole prison. So he's always sending money home, if that makes sense. So they're already doing it, but they want to create like 21st century jobs. So when these men get out.
It used to be illegal to do graffiti. Now they
Exactly.
want mural artists. Now they want street artists.
Exactly. That leveraging your life experiences.
Okay, here's another idea. Why couldn't we do an art gallery in there? You know, you do your own artwork, you can just put it out from under the bars if you're worried about that. Gosh,
Let's
guys.
go. Let's go. Have the community. These are these ideas that we're trying to get with. So, like you just
We can do a
said,
sip and paint.
what if we brought the community in so they can buy these men's, you know, so that way
they
can
make their artwork, and now we can buy and put money on their books through their hard work.
So
Why
these,
not?
these are some of the ideas that we're always playing around with, and you know,
I don't
there's-
think we can auction off prison. I don't think we can do that like we do like dates and stuff. We can't do any of that stuff. That's 90 day, that's 90 Day Fiance. We can't do stuff like that. Sorry.
but yeah, pen pals are always great though. you know?
See, I didn't even know that still existed. Is it on the computers now? Email?
Yeah, well, now they have tablets. That's how far we've come in the prison. They have tabs. So I'm sending in, like, I'll send in like cultural videos. Susie will send in like these.
Wait,
you know,
they can watch stuff?
they can watch this on a tablet. You know what I mean? So I'll send in videos and stuff like that. Susie will send in videos, cultural, you know, things like that, so they can watch it. We've sent them like some stuff that we do in the community, so they're seeing all these reels. We sent them reels.
I have all these questions that I want to ask them
man.
too. I'm asking you this one that just popped in my head, because tattooing is such a big
Yes.
culture for our people. That's
Exactly.
our culture. The word tattoo came from our word tatao.
Tatao.
Right?
Yes.
So what if I'm inside, not me, but I want to express myself through that art form? Are there ways where they allow inmates to express themselves culturally, or there are certain parameters we can't cross?
And see, the tattoo, I don't know how that would work because, you know, back when I was locked up, you had to hide that kind of stuff. So I don't know what the rules are these days, but culturally, that may be a fine line we can walk, if that makes sense.
Maybe
But these are
incentives?
all these innovative ideas that's now open to the system now, where at one time they wasn't open to it. You know, so I think, like I said, we can leverage.
My mind is rolling like a million
know,
miles
bro.
an hour, bro.
That's why we
I'm
need
like,
to get you in there.
let's have a singing contest, man. Which prison got the best singers, man?
So those guys do that kind of stuff all the time. Over the Christmas vacation, they were going around like caroling to these other sections. You didn't see hardcore men doing that. You know what I mean? It's just and the society don't see that. They just see a bunch of hard men, but they don't really see the healing that's going on in there.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. So all these things. That's what I was trying to get to, is that all we ever see or we hear is that they're hardened criminals or they're hardened in a certain way. There are stuff going on behind that is happening.
Yes, of course there is. Yep. And you know, you still got your folks who are active.
Yeah.
You know, but then you've also got men like Fanua and like Fredo who have a reputation and go into an active tank and recruit and say, hey, this is what we're trying to do, bro. Come follow us. Use your leadership in another way. You know, so that people don't see that kind of work, man. So it's just it's powerful as hell. And because I've been away from that for so long, when I tap back in, I found that loyalty that sometimes you can't find on the streets. You know, these men are just been motivating me as much as, you know, I'm trying to motivate them.
With the ethnic and the cultural divide in behind the walls, how are you guys addressing that so that the cultures can come together? I know there's a divide, and I understand for safety, for numbers, whatever that looks like, right?
Yeah.
I want to know, are we making any progress in that realm?
Man, that is where the collaboration is happening. And I'll just give you an example. For a long time, the West Valley boys and the Glendale boys wasn't clicking. Some of the Usos and some of the Tongans, like the Regs and some of the SIA boys, they weren't clicking. It wasn't until they were all locked up together and forced in this section that they tapped back into this unity. And so what happened was, when they got out, they had a funeral for one of the Tongan homies' family. The bro showed up with an envelope with CE. And then when Samuel passed away, the boys from the Regs pulled up at the house just deep, had the whole block surrounded, came in with their CE. That was emotional. And so it's in there that they found that unity. When you go in there, man, the TS, the Park Village Bros, the SOS felt, man, they're all clicked up. But it's that solid program. Now, there's still some active guys, but you can't get into solid unless you come with that unity. So to see that kind of, that loyalty to each other, man, it's powerful.
So
With
you-
each other, they say ofa'atu
Yeah.
and alofa. I mean, they recognize each other's culture.
But it sounds like the program is designed for the individuals who are really ready
Yes.
to make the change because they got to do the heavy lifting.
They got to do the heavy lifting.
Because you've said it several times that there's still guys who are active
Yes.
and they're not coming to the program,
Yes.
right?
What's amazing about those guys that are active, they're okay. They still have that loyalty. They're like, hey man, do what you gonna do. I'm gonna do my
I was
time.
just about to ask
Yeah.
you, do they feel some kind of way, like
Nah,
they're taken away
man.
from their power? or,
That's what I love
Wow.
about some of the homies in there. Like, hey man, that's not for me, but I see you, bro. You know what I mean? But that's not for me.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And what's great, see, back in the days, there were certain people we didn't allow in the circle.
Like low key, I was kind of nervous talking a little bit about the business. I'd be like, to go to lie to you. I'd be like, I got cousins that I gotta buy my
Yeah, man. Well, see, and what's
because
crazy?
politics are different in there. You know?
It is.
Yeah.
And see, back in my day, we did time, there were certain people we didn't allow in the circle. What's crazy about what Fanu and Fredo are doing, they don't care who you are. If you're ready to do the healing, whether you have a certain kind of case, they're
the
inclusive.
individual. It's the
individual. And what's amazing about these men, some of these men may not mess with these certain individuals, but they respect them enough to be in the same space and learn. So it's crazy to see, man.
I gotta ask about, obviously, when you're behind bars, you have time, you can have access to news and news stories. I wondered about that.
Yeah.
The thing I want to know is, do they have access to things for our culture? Like, I know you guys bring video, but can they access it on their own, or do they have to have that brought into them?
For the most part, we've been bringing it in, and that's why the
Okay.
Pacific Heritage Month, that's coming up. We're gonna do a big old to-do. We're gonna bring in our cultural foods,
Wow.
things like that. So that's, we're gonna have a lot of these amazing people like you, Kalani, and people like that in our community. We're gonna have dancers come in there, to do our cultural. It's gonna be all week long, and hopefully we can talk them into bringing in some kava, or you can.
I want
You know.
to dedicate it. It's about damn time. Wait, what? Oh, wow, that's...
Yeah.
So, wait a minute.
We're
Hold on.
excited.
I got to ask you about it. This is groundbreaking, right?
Man, I think it is.
I don't know if I've ever heard of them
Never.
allowing cultural experiences from the outside in.
I think they have, but I just think back in the days, there wasn't enough of us in the community trying to do that.
Trying to
And
go
then
back
the
and-
prison was kind of like standoffish with it. Now the young officers that are in there, the young CEOs, they're trying to help.
They see
heal
the
some of these
value
men.
in
They
the
see the
community
value in
involvement.
community
Okay,
because
okay.
they know prison's a violent place, and if they can get along with each other, people can do their time right. So it's been powerful to see the collaboration between the inmates and the guards. It's different.
I mean,
different.
I'm looking at you look
It's-
like you're flabbergasted, like
I
you can't
am
believe
tripping.
it's happening.
I am tripping, man. It trips me out. when I
Do the
see it.
same old school like yourself. Other
Oh,
guys
yeah.
are they tripping as well? What do they say?
No, I think they probably do time easier, if that makes sense. I think they're. So what's crazy is they'll put these active men in their own tank, if that makes sense, and then it's up to them on how they want to move. You know what I'm saying? And Fredo, like I said, Fredo and Fanua are always recruiting. When you're ready, here we are. You know what
Recruiting
I'm
to
saying?
come to the healing.
Come to the heat
Yeah.
to take.
'Cause every
advantage
time I
of
hear
the-
recruiting,
yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, not for the
Come to the
not-
program.
Yeah, come to the program.
Excuse me.
And so you see all these different kind of gang members
That's crazy.
in this program sharing space. It's pretty powerful.
It sounds like we're making baby steps with the cultures, with
Yes.
different ethnic groups in there.
Yes,
Baby steps,
yes.
but
Baby
some
steps.
steps are happening.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Are we doing it in a way where maybe other cultures will also see and say, you know what, we want to come in there and have a Latino night. We want to come in there, show off
Yeah.
our African culture and
Yeah.
share it. Is that maybe this is an
Yes.
opening for all the other cultures?
Well, here's the thing, man. A lot of cultures have been doing that. Our
We're
Polynesian
late to the game?
Well, it's not that we're late to the game, and I'm gonna just keep it real.
Yeah.
We were never consistent. You had a guy come one time, and then they, don't show up. And then in there, it's how you show up. If they are not gonna respect you if you come one time and then you don't come up. And they told us this, like, man, we appreciate you guys. You
Yeah.
guys come every week. And they've had other Polynesian groups come in, and then they don't show up. So
Thank you for the warning. In other words, don't start something you can't finish.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and they're not very honest with them. I think you have
No.
to be upfront, man.
All the guys that are watching, I know everyone's like, nah, he don't want trouble. He just talk like he do. Nephew, hey, Rob. Oh no.
Nah, man. That's really what it is for them. How you gonna show up? Are you gonna you coming part time or you coming full time?
Yeah.
You know, and that's how they get your respect, if that makes sense. So, you know.
Yeah. Don't. We didn't ask you to come, right? No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're saying that, but you know, I'm making the effort to come. I'm the one who told myself to do this.
Yes.
You know, put up or shut up. You know.
And I think if you're just honest with them, like, you know, hey, I'm here to do this, and then I don't know, I'm trying to get a bath, things like that. You know what I'm saying? I think they can appreciate that honesty, man.
And I'm way over the age of getting an Eagle Scout, so I can't get that merit badge. So, am I trying to pay off some things that I did in my past with God? You know what? That may be the case,
Hey,
but
I'm doing the same thing, man. We got to get that good karma back, bro. You know, I did enough bad stuff.
People work their deeds off. I'm not saying all that. I feel a whole lot better than I'm. One last question. We'll take a quick break and come and wrap things up. But I ask about the old days. There used to be jokes about putting files in cakes. Can you bake food? Can you do any food like that for inmates? Is that possible?
It used to be back in the days, and I think they will only allow us this at the cultural. We've already tried. They're telling us that it has to be like a big to do, like an event. So we have to do it at the Heritage Month. It has to be something big for them.
I was just saying that I know some Chick-fil-A people that would let me bring some sandwiches in.
Well, I think with the bros, they want our food, if that makes sense.
But
we're trying to get it
you know
where
how much
can
money
we?
your kids?
Well,
no, I didn't say that out loud. Did I say that out loud? So I don't know.
Well, we're trying to tell because the prison is like, well, you got to have it wrapped up and I'm like, no,
all the rules. They have all the rules.
But we're trying to navigate to that because I'm like, man, I'm not putting no palusami in a plastic bag and you know what I'm saying?
Maybe a cooking expedition where they can then sample it.
Man, that's why we need you in there to, you know what I'm saying? To kind of.
I can feel the eyes from the engineer saying, "We are already full. Our cup runneth over."
That cup is runneth over. But you got friends who can, help.
No, I definitely want to. Like I said, for me, it's more about me doing what my dad had instilled in me. You know, and there's nothing that I can tell these men that they already know it, right? Exactly. I just want to, if they need somebody to talk to them, an ear to listen to, bro, I'll laugh at your jokes. If that's what they need, you know what I'm saying? Man. I want to help out. If a conversation is the least that I can do, that's where I want to start.
That's big right there. That's big that you showed up for them and you see them. You know, seen, they're heard, they're respected. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna do wonders for the men. And these are men. You know, older, Uncle Paulo, he's still doing the work at his age. There's young men who are showing up. They want to be heard and want to be listened to and, respected, man. So I think it's going to be powerful when you come in there.
You're very kind. The flowers belong to the men who are doing the work. You guys are doing the work. I just want to come in and celebrate y'all.
Don't let us get Amelia up in there, bro. Don't let us get that mealy cracking in there.
We're going to shake the walls for sure, like the walls of Jericho. Y'all watch. We'll take a quick break. We'll come and wrap things up, give you the information how you can be part of day one, how you can get that indisposable income that you got in your pocket and give it to them so that we can do more good with it. It's a tax write-off for you. What are you worried about?
Exactly.
All right? We'll be right back.
Oh, I wonder why you had to go. But baby, every night we go crying. Ooh, tears on my pillow, pain in my heart, you on my mind. I remember all the good times that we had
put that in perspective for me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's powerful, brother.
Talofa, and welcome back into Buddha's Lounge, part of Everyday People, where it's been talking with Siolo Toala with Day One Utah and Kava Talks, subbing in for Des Alvarez. We miss you, Des, but we know you got some business to take care of. He's handling business. We're handling business, getting the gospel of reaching out and helping others, making sure that's a priority. So thank you for coming on and putting us on game. And for me, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know that I could have gone, sooner. I didn't know. If it wasn't for you guys, I would have never known that I could still help. There's the minimum, write a letter.
Yeah.
I can still give back. I can still,
Yep.
don't. Again, so this is me just having this inner reflection. Like, don't talk all that BS about. So, give back to your people and do this. And, I've been helping Palangi people a lot. I've been to the walks. I've been to the car shows. I've been to Polynesian days maybe once or twice, right? I need to show up for my people. That's where my guilt or whatever you want to call it comes from. So thank you for letting me exercise this demon. Man, whatever it may be.
That's powerful,
right?
Bro.
In closing, could you please give out some information so that people know they can help? You don't have to do any big stuff. No. It's really volunteer. This is my guilt. Yeah. This is me having a guilty conscience.
Man, I appreciate that, brother. And that's what it is, being authentic and being genuine and honest, man. So appreciate you.
Yeah. How do we volunteer? How do we get a hold of you guys?
We have our Facebook page with Day One Utah, as well as our Instagram page, and that's really the only way you can get a hold of us. But we're always promoting resources for the community on on our Facebook page. So tap in there, and if you know anyone that's needing help, you can message us directly on that. And if you want to help volunteer, just let us know. That's we want a partnership with our community. However way you guys want to help.
How many graduates coming up?
I don't know the number. It's a DeFi program, which is it's not the solid program. It's another program called DeFi. So, but I'm pretty sure it's a pretty good number of graduates. So
look, man, y'all just got your tax return. Put some money on an inmate's books. Look, they're about to graduate. You don't know who they are. It's okay. I'll follow suit too. Let's all go put books on somebody who's graduating and say thank you. $5 goes a long way. I'm telling you, man. That's like 10 packs of ramen.
That's facts, though.
I'm telling
That's facts, though.
Why does he know so much? We have cousins. Okay?
Yeah. The tariffs don't affect the ramen. So
how would you like to close? What would you like to say in closing to anybody watching who's on the fence, teetering about going and serving brothers and sisters behind the wall?
Man, I think all of us are affected by incarceration. We all may know someone who's been incarcerated. I think for them, they just want to be heard. They want to be seen. And there's that saying, we listen and we don't judge, right? And so I think that's where the real power comes from, and just seeing them as who they are. And I think that's the first step you can do. It's not judge, and meet them where they're at, build a trust, and inspire the change. And that's 3 of our principles that we believe in. And hopefully that's enough for them. So
only because I feel like are they watching? Do they get a chance to watch it?
What I'm gonna do is send this video in to them, so that way they can see.
Well,
it.
I'm gonna end the way that I end my morning show on the radio, so that if they're gonna see this, I apologize to my Tongan brothers. I've only been Tongan for 5 minutes. Leaiso alofa, leaiso waonga. It's a saying my grandparents always said to us when we give service. The closest translation in English: without love, you have no purpose. Oof. That's what my grandparents left with us. I hope to make them proud and live by that example. So thanks for the opportunity, my brother.
Thank you, because I appreciate it.
If we can help one person, we've done our job. Thank you so much for tuning in. Friday, don't forget, Lynn and Crystal will be back, your favorite hosts for Everyday People, Pacifica Chapter. And this show was brought to you by GetMedCard.co, the quickest and easiest way to get your medical card at the lowest price possible. $75 this Thursday, May Day. Come get your card and get a lei put on you, okay? Have a great night. We'll see you guys on Friday. Fala ya.